The judge resumed his seat and then said, Chris Rwakasisi, for what you did, I hereby sentence you to suffer death by hanging until you die. People wept, others clapped. You are going to suffer death by hanging until you die. That was on 30th June in the year 1988, after spending 3 years on remand. Psalm 118, verse 17 and 18, he says, I shall not die, but live and testify what the Lord has done for me. Verse 18 says, although the Lord has punished me severely, but has not let me over to death. Here I am, Your Excellency, testifying the love of Jesus. Unfortunately, Judge Justice Mukanza died long ago. May his soul rest in peace. Although he did one thing, he sent my lawyer, said, go and tell Chris that I'm very sorry, but my hands were tied, and I forgive him. You have heard, I stayed here for 8 years, and then went to Tanzania 79, joined the fighting forces, and here we are in Uganda. We went for elections. I stood in a constituency and I was elected member of parliament. While on the campaign, because I was moving with President Obote everywhere, Obote loved me. Obote trusted me. And I returned the favor. After elections, because he had told everybody that I was going to be his prime minister. But after elections, when he called me to go to his office, he told me that a friend of his, not the old friend of his, Paulo Mwanga, that he was campaigning to have Otemari Madi to be the prime minister. So he asked me, what do I do? I said, please, do as Mwanga wants. Then he pulled out the sheet of paper where he had written all the ministries. He said, now pick up one from here. And I told him, no, sir, I can't pick for myself, pick for me. Then he said, but I want you to be in my office. But if I say you are Minister of State, people would think you are a junior minister. On the other hand, if I say you are a minister without portfolio, the Baganda here would say, Minister Taina Murimu, that is minister without a job. On the other hand, if I say you are minister for presidency, people would think you are running my errand. And now, what do I do? I said, do what you want. So he coined up ministry, state minister, office of the president, not minister of state, but state minister, office of the president, which set me to be de facto his assistant. And we worked. He gave me all unlimited powers. I want to correct someone who introduced me that I was Minister of Defense. No, I was almost the Minister of everything. My office was just adjacent to the president, and every minute the secretary will come. Honorable Minister, His Excellency wants you. Honorable Minister, the Excellency calling you. Honorable Minister, Honorable Minister. I was honorable, my sisters calling me honorable, brothers, honorable friends, honorable, until I forgot that my name was Chris Rwakasisi. I thought I was honorable. And I also responded to the Honorable. I had a convoy like the president's convoy. So people would not know if Obote was going east and Rwakasisi was going west to know who was going where. No. And there I generated hatred from my own colleagues in the cabinet. Yes. But in all this, I kicked Jesus out of my life. What did I want him for? I was a young man. I had money. I had power. I had authority. So what else? My word was almost law. Yeah, I remember sometimes the constituents would call me, Honorable Minister, let us go to church. I said, oh, when you go to church, you pray for the president and cabinet ministers, and I'm one of them. So you go and pray. I'm not coming. But then time came. Time came. Time came when I saw all those honors and glories all running down like a proverbial house of cards. Yes, there was a military coup. And I was arrested. The coup makers, because I had all the information, had resolved that arrest Milton Obote, don't kill him. Rwakasisi, Oito Jok, and another minister called Peter Otai, those arrest them and kill them immediately. Thank you. Kill them immediately. So they arrested me. But thank God. My wife ran away to Nairobi here. She went to Minister Elijah Mwangari, was Minister of Foreign Affairs, and contacted President Arap Moi, who called Tito Kero in Uganda and said, don't kill Rwakasisi, because I was very much known to him. And the soldiers never killed me. A man who was saluted by generals, I was now being ordered by the privates. Ewe mzee, kachini. I go down. Yeah, it happened. Kachini. Museveni came from the bush and took over the government. I hunted for Museveni in the bush. If I had met him, God knows what would have happened. First of all, Museveni was my friend. When he came from Dar es Salaam University, he was brought to my office. By then I was working in the office of the president. Before the coup now, that is the 80s. They brought him in my office. I was then heading a legal section in the president's office. And he came there. So I was his boss. Now things have changed. So Museveni went to the bush. I hunted for Museveni. And they also looked for me. Now when they took over the government, they found their prize already in prison. And very many songs were composed by the Wakombozi. Rwakasisi ye hamba arijaribu akashindwa ye ma. That's what, that was the